Hi guys, Italy is concerning me more and more because everything seems to be rumbling. The Aeolian Islands, there is another island, it's called Volcano, that has showing signs that something's going on, but we've got Etna on red alert, we got Stromboli on red alert, and those guys are really doing something that's out of the ordinary. And then we've got Campi Flegrei with another earthquake swarm. So what is going on? But we have to talk about Stromboli again, guys, because this is very concerning, because this is not normal. And I have to start with what the LGS, the Laboratorio Geofisicas Experimentale in Italy, has released. They're the guys that are monitoring Stromboli, and they call it that what has just happened on July 11th, a paroxysm. They call it the Stromboli paroxysm. And before we look at the graphs that they released and absolutely stunning new pictures and videos, I have to explain to you what that means so that you are going to be aware of the severity of what is going on at Stromboli right now. A paroxysm in relation to Stromboli refers to a particularly intense and violent eruptive event. So that is what just happened on July 11, a paroxysm, a intense and violent eruptive event. And by the way, there was a tsunami this time. We'll talk about this as well. And this event, it's much more powerful than the volcano's usual activity. We know that Stromboli is rumbling and spewing something out on a regular base. It's very, very known for its mild explosions, and they often call it, oh yeah, that's the Strombolian activity. But this paroxysm that happened here, it's something different, and the scientists have already been fearing the last few weeks since that started with Stromboli, basically early July. They were worried that something worse might happen, and we're on the way there. It happened today. So the typical activity consists of small to moderate explosions that occur at regular intervals. It's ejecting, like how they call it, these volcanic bombs, pyroclastic flows, the lapilli, these volcanic rock particles, and of course ash. But during a paroxysm at Stromboli, the eruption is significantly, not a little bit, significantly more forceful and dramatic. And it often involves, and it did involve this today, the larger explosion. The explosion was much more powerful, ejecting larger amounts of volcanic material and reaching greater heights by spewing this out. The lava flows, of course, they can produce substantial lava flows that are traveling down the flanks of the volcano, the slide of fire. And it's already been sliding down the slide of fire yesterday. So, and now this came in addition. Then the ash plumes, large ash plumes did rise into the atmosphere, could potentially affect air travel and surrounding areas. And of course, pyroclastic flows that are fast moving currents of hot gas and volcanic matter. And usually, a paroxysm at Stromboli is very rare compared to its regular activity. That's why this poses a significant hazard to local populations and potential visitors, air quality and air traffic in the region, boats in the water, and so on. At 2 p.m. local time in Italy, that's what happened. The monitoring network of Experimental Geophysics Laboratory, the LGS, the Department of Soil Sciences at the University of Florence, they registered an explosive event above the norm associated with a seismic signal in the maximum magnitude, guys, in the maximum magnitude. So this is the official release, and we will look at their charts that explain this further in a minute. And the soil deformation was super high. The paroxysm created an explosion with maximum infrasonic pressure. Good thing was, the event was detected by their early warning paroxysm alert system at around noon. And they were giving about 3 minutes warning time, and then also they had a clear deformative signal that something's deforming about 50 minutes ahead of time. And that was really, really good because there was staff on the crater, on the volcano. So they were able to pre-alert their operational staff and the researchers and the technicians on the slopes of the volcano, because those guys were carrying out maintenance at the surveillance stations. I showed you in my last video, I'll show you this picture here again, because they needed to clean the solar panels and the equipment, because already in the last few days, it's like a mud that was sticking to it. That's what the volcano has spit out. So this explosion has generated pyroclastic flows along the Schiera del Fuoco, the slide of fire, and it was reaching the sea, and it did create a tsunami wave of 50 centimeters. Okay, 50 centimeters, that's not much, right? That's half a meter. But still, you don't have much warning time if you're on the beach. And if there is a 1 meter wave and you're sitting on the beach, could cause some troubles for you and wash you out into the sea. So here you see the seismic activity, and basically you see how many minutes this was lasting. So you see it did start in the red area, and then it went into the black area, and it went really, really significant. And you see something was really rumbling before the explosion happened. And the next picture is a very, very interesting chart, because it basically shows you the paroxysm, what a paroxysm basically is. You see on the left side, that shows you the tilt amplitude. So what is the tilt amplitude? So the tilt amplitude refers to the measurement of the ground deformation that is caused by volcanic activity. So the tilt amplitude is a key parameter in volcanology because it provides insights into the changes that are occurring beneath the surface of the volcano. So it has important information for the scientists because it measures the angle of the tilt of the ground surface or the crater that's there, or inside the craters. So it's indicating how much of the ground has deformed due to volcanic activity. And we know if magma's on the move, it comes with seismic events, but also with ground deformation. These two indications tell you, oopsie, something might be up. An increase in tilt amplitude, as you can see here, everything that's red, especially the red star, signals that magma is moving closer to the surface, and that is preceding an eruption if you have that signal. So it is crucial, absolutely crucial for predicting volcanic activity, and try to get some early warnings for populations that are close by. Doesn't always work because sometimes the warning time is very, very short. So they have tilt meters, measuring stations on Stromboli, and that's why they can measure these changes in the ground. These instruments are providing the scientists with continuous data, so they can already, the volcanologists that are out there every day and checking this, they can detect subtle changes that might indicate that there is an impending explosive event. And that's why they said they had a little warning time to get their scientists of the crater, of the volcano. And of course, a high tilt amplitude, as you see it here in the graph, in the red area, often correlates with paroxysmal explosions, as just happened today, violent eruptions. And by analyzing these tilt amplitudes, the scientists can better understand how the dynamic of these explosive events function, how the dynamics function. So understanding tilt amplitudes, and that's why I'm going a little bit deeper in the subject here for you guys, because if you're watching all this on a regular basis, it helps us to understand what's going on. It's essential for effective volcanic monitoring and risk mitigation. It helps to protect lives potentially and also property in volcanic regions. So what this chart does, it gives a comparison between seismic amplitudes and the tilt, between the earthquakes and the ground deformations. And that's why they can say that today's event, the red star that you see in this graph, falls within the field of a paroxysmal explosion, because you can see how high up it is. And the thing is, you see other dates like 2007 and you see 2019. 2019 also had this event when the one hiker was dying. He was hit by rocks that were spit out by the volcano that hit him. So you see all the other events, most of the events, the blue and the grayish events, they're minor compared to this. So there are not many of these events. There's another chart from their seismic network that shows it from another measuring station. So there you can see how intense that seismic swarm was. And that's an interesting picture here. It shows you the infrasonic activity that was happening, and that's why they have these areas of the volcanic craters. The top, if you look at it from above, they have different areas. So NE, the CE central area, and the SV, so northeast, southwest. In the NE area, that's where everything happened today. So you can see that there was splattering. The circles, just the black circles that have nothing and no color inside, those were explosions. And then you can also see how they measured the pressure there. That was high. What this chart tells us, that the localization of infrasonic pressure, that's that dot here, indicates that the explosion occurred below the northeastern crater sector at an approximate altitude of around 650 meters above sea level. So we're higher now than we were in the previous events. So the vents that opened, spitting out lava down the slide of fire, they previously, since July 3rd, they opened at about a height of 480 meters. Now we're at 650 meters, and the volcano at itself is as high as 900 meters. So it's getting higher and higher. And here's a chart that basically also shows what we just talked about, their early warning system for a paroxysm, so that they can tell what's happening. These are their different measuring stations, and you can see how the curves go up, basically starting at noon, 12 o'clock, and then how it goes up from there. And they have normalized the tilt and the red curve, but there you can see it's a definitive pre-warning that was given by that really significant rise of their curve. What this curve means, we just talked about it. But you can see that it was rising in a very, very short period of time, right? It starts at 11:59 and then it's already that high at 12:07. So we're not talking about like hours, very, very short time. It's like pumping air into a balloon very, very fast until it bursts. Here's an interesting video of the paroxysm at Stromboli that was also taken on July 11th by the ROC submittal thermal camera that they have up there. That's great, right? That's their equipment, and that's why they go up there to, on a regular basis, maintain these measuring stations. And there you can see basically what happened. You see the time and the timestamp on the left corner, left down corner. So there you can see it's interesting what's coming out there. And the intensity scale is like blue is nothing, and if it's getting yellow and white even, that's the highest. And you can see how it's shooting up there. It is quite shooting up there in the yellow and white range when it comes to temperature. And I mean, there's some very, very impressive pictures that they released already at noon. The LGS released breaking news, Stromboli paroxysm at 12:08. As we've just seen, when the curve went up from 11:59 to 12, this is when exactly this happened that I show you in this picture. So that's a massive cloud that was coming out there. And what I want to show you is how it looked before that happened. So you can see from the July 10th inspection that they did of Stromboli. You can see this video. I always find this super pretty. You see the dark rocks, and you see this like a vein of lava running down the slide of fire, and then this pure white steam. If lava mixes with water, it's causing volcanic gases, chlorine gases, and it can cause explosions as well. And it looks, I have to say, it looks beautiful, it looks impressive. But that was going on at the moment when the paroxysm started. And how did that look? The INGV also has some impressive pictures with their stationary cameras that they have on Stromboli, and with their personal that they have on Stromboli. They also filmed this today, for example, how this massive ash cloud is coming up in the air from Stromboli. And also the INGV has also released a statement a little later at 12:46. They're saying the National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology informs that from the analysis of the images of the surveillance network cameras and by the INGV personnel in the field, it is possible to observe that around 12:07 a paroxystic event occurred at the summit craters. They're saying, and you see the thermal images that they have there as well. I think they're pretty good as well. They're saying this activity has produced an eruptive column and a pyroclastic flow along the Schiera del Fuoco, the slide of fire. The flow has spread to the sea tens of meters from the coastline. The long sleeve phenomenon was exhausted around 12:10, so it didn't really last that long. And they're saying from a seismic point of view at 12:07, all Stromboli stations have registered a seismic transient associated with a sequence of explosive events for a total duration of about 8 minutes. The most energetic, they think that's 12:08, is associated with the paroxystic event at the summit craters. That's the red star we saw in the other paragraph. And the average magnitude of the tremor has reached a very high level in correlation with the paroxystic event, followed by a rapid decline until it currently reaches the average level again. So guys, that is Stromboli, but we have to talk about Etna as well. And then we have to talk about, are Etna and Stromboli connected? Are they connected to Campi Flegrei? Is it all connected? That's the questions that you guys keep asking, and I'll try to address it in my next video. I'm planning that my next video is going to be on Etna, if nothing else happens in the meantime, because guys, I have a backlog of stuff that I need to tell you. I have already finished a video, well, I filmed it, but I haven't edited it yet because I can't release it, about something that is going on in Florida. And I'm not talking about a hurricane, tornadoes, or anything like that, but I think this is something that you guys also definitely need to hear about. So do me a favor, if you see a Florida video coming out, please watch it, because guys, I think, you know, we're talking about volcanoes and eruptions and earthquakes so much, but I think let's look at, once in a while, I want to show you some other scary natural occurrences as well. And you do my channel a big favor if you watch these videos as well. YouTube always gives me the statistics, and if it's volcanic and if it's eruptions, a lot of your regular viewers are watching this video. That's why we're sending it out to other videos. But then if I reported about a dramatic flood in Brazil, which I thought was very, very concerning, but also interesting. Wildfires in Texas, and I get the notification from YouTube. Not many of your regular viewers are watching these videos. That's why we're not showing it to other viewers on YouTube. So guys, do me a favor, support my channel. Watch the other stuff as well. I'm really putting a lot of work into that, and I think it's very, very interesting. So please click the notification bell, so when the Florida video comes out, which probably won't be today and also not tomorrow, because I need to work through Italy right now, because there's something going on in Campi, Flegrei as well. But Etna and Stromboli, of course, they have priority right now, but there will also be a Grindavik update, guys. I promise that, because there's, for my lagoonies, there is something going on, guys, that I definitely need to tell you. So if you're new here, please subscribe. I'd love to see you again. Leave this video a like, guys. And if you want to support my channel, in addition to just viewing my videos till the end, you can leave me a super, or go to my buymeacoffee.com/silky website. The link is in the description of this video. You can see posts, pictures of Rudi. That's all for free. Register for free. You get emails if there's some significant stuff happening. I don't want to spam you too much, so I won't send you an email for everything, but if there's something really massive going on, I'll send you an email. So to be a follower there is totally for free, and I'd love to see you there, to create a group there as well. So thanks, guys. I see you very, very soon. I'm off to talk about the next one here, to prepare for the next video. So thanks a lot, guys. Bye.